Hey guys, welcome back to the CNSL Season 7 on ArtosisCasts. We're in the round of 4, match 2, and this could be the last game because right now Motive is on match point. He is up 3-1 against MisO. MisO has played a pretty aggressive style overall, but Motive is just showing that his Protoss versus Zerg is another level, just like his handsome good looks. Now, we are going to go into Troy, which is a crazy, crazy map. Hoping to see some 2-gate action, but we'll see about that. Let's go ahead, get into it, and see if MisO can tie this series up. In the bottom left of Troy, our Zerg player on the brink of elimination, it's MisO. And in the bottom right, our Protoss player ready to go to that finals against Scan, hopefully for himself, it's Motive. I tell you, whichever way we get it, right? Like, I mean, ZVZ, if that's going to be like the third place thing, it's like, okay, well, you know, sometimes you have a ZVZ. The games are generally pretty quick and action-packed, and some people actually really do like Zerg vs. Zerg for sure. But like a PvT between Motive and Scan would be amazing. Now, likewise, a Zerg vs. Terran between MisO and Scan would be very, very good. And another Motive PvZ series against Yoon would be excellent as well, because Yoon definitely plays a different style than MisO. And I got to tell you, Motive is becoming one of my favorite Protoss vs. Zergs. I still don't think he's the same level as the top guys. I think if you look at the top guys right now, you know, Bisu, Mini, Snow, Best, these guys, they are unbelievably good at PvZ right now. Like, we're really in a new age of Protoss vs. Zerg. And I don't think Motive is quite there yet, but you can really see. And I saw some people mentioning in comments and stuff where it's like, wow, this is the level that's not making it into ASL, right? Isn't that crazy? It's like they're playing this well, and these guys are not in ASL, so how good are those other players? Well, like, yeah, they're better because they're the ones winning in a tournament, getting through qualification, getting into ASL, doing it consistently. But a lot of times, you know, you can hear this in interviews where, like, for instance, I'm just like a very minor fan of tennis. I don't like watch it a lot, but I'm really interested in it in general because I think it's really similar to StarCraft in a lot of ways. So it kind of piques my interest, and I read about it some and whatnot, and watch, you know, little clips and stuff like that. And you'll see them say in interviews where, like, the actual physical difference between the players in like the top 100 or something are very minimal, right? It's mostly mindset things. It's mostly the way they're utilizing their brains that are making the differences, right? For who's going to be the champion and who is not. And yeah, I feel like that is a big part of this. Like, for instance, like, you know, the games we've been seeing so far, some of these games are better than ASL level. Like, they are putting out these amazing games, but still not necessarily qualifying. So anyways, I just want to throw that out, but this game is actually really starting, so let's talk about it some. We have double photon cannon coming up. Oh, dude, if he loses this cannon. That's really bad that he lost that. Looks like he's going to jump on the second cannon. If that cannon was 1 second faster, this entire game might look different. This is bad, though, because Zergling's speed is ready, and he's making a lot of lings and sending them out. Now, he has one ling in here that's harassing. Sometimes you bring it up for a flank. Let's see. I think he's just going to punch in through here. Okay, loses one there, and gets 3. Oh, man. 3 Zerglings in the main base. He starts a pylon. Like, if you can get a cannon up, maybe you could live through this, but this is getting worse and worse. More lings coming in here for MisO. I think MisO is going to be able to kill Motive here. This looks very bad. The amount of damage that even 2 speedlings can do is astronomical in cost pros games all the time. Goes after this Nexus. Yeah, like, this is... I like that he's getting the cannon up. One thing I want to mention is there is a possibility to pull these back and try to flank the cannon at the front because there are some speedlings that are out there. But it looks like he's very close to getting this Nexus. Holy crap. He just, with the last hit, gets the Nexus. GG. Let's go on to game number 6. All right, so we're getting into game number 6 here. We have Motive in the top right, and in the bottom right, we have MisO. We're back on Blitz Y. It looks like it will be a pool first tech here from MisO. So changing it up a little bit. Don't forget that on the 2-player maps, so far, what we've seen... oh, I'm sorry, this is Radeon. Oh my god, they both spawn on the right-hand side. And I'm like, wait a minute, I already looked. There's not a second 2-player map. Anyways, on the 2-player maps, what we've seen was that Zealot Cannon Rush. That's not going to be the case here. Well, it's a Forge, and there are 2 probes coming out. So it does look very likely to be something he wanted to be a Cannon Rush, but since there's a pool first, you can't really go for that. So this probe will get up here, see nothing. This probe will come up here, see the creep, and be like, oh, I guess it's not a hatch first. So he'll just have to go ahead and warp in some cannons defensively there at home. And in fact, it is 6 lings, so very good chance that he makes 2 cannons here. Generally, that's how you'll want to end up playing this, but maybe he doesn't. Like, right? Wasn't this a 9 pool? I think normally you see 2 cannons there, so I'm trying to remember exactly. Looks like he's really saving up for a Nexus. Now he sees that there's 6 lings, so he might do something like put a gateway down and pull a couple probes to block. That could be how he wants to play it. But I am a little bit nervous. Like, 6 lings could run in and kill cannon, so he may need to pull some probes. Okay, there's the Nexus. Okay, he's going to put the gateway down. These Protoss players have the build so tight at this point. It's pretty insane. Oh! Okay, yeah, MisO spreads in a line and then comes up. Okay, so he's going to try to come in, and I think it's probably a good choice, but yeah, he's going to... Oh, that block! Oh my god! He gets 2 up. Now, they don't have speed, but they do have very high health. See, I told you, normally it's 2 cannons, but Motive is trying to cut corners. Let's see if that actually pays off or not. There's a cannon, a pylon going up in the main, so, I mean, he could go for a cannon there. I don't think that he will. Yeah, I gotta send these all the way back. By the way, MisO is taking 2 expansions at home, but I don't want to miss this action. See if he gets any probe kills in here. He should end up getting at least a couple. Like, it's pretty normal. Okay. Oh my god! 2 health probe. Somehow lives, and now he's trying to chase down that really hurt ling. If you can get him down to 1 ling, it's so much easier to deal with. Oh! Dude, the boxing in is so good, and zooming in is not helping. Alright, so he kills 1 of them. Gonna come back up here, try to get some damage. Where's that super red probe? Was that sent down? Yeah, it was. It was actually sent on in the transfer. Okay. So he wants that thing near a cannon. Yeah, I guess MisO isn't going to get as much damage as I thought with these 2 lings in the main. Definitely some very good probe control from Motive here. Don't forget, obviously, he's lost like a lot of mining time from these. But his Nexus is super fast, so that's nice. 23 workers to 15. All right, the first Zealot is coming down now for some counter pressure. Few lings being made. Zergling speed is on the way, as well as a layer. And... okay. Kills off the Zealot. We have the 3rd hatchery up. He's going to go ahead and start droning heavily. Spire on the way. Now, let's see which Spire build this is going to be. Remember that we've had a couple different Spire builds. One where he goes Hydralisk Den, Second Gas, and Evolution Chamber rather quickly. And, you know, the Second Gas that quick generally looks like mutas, and we saw Motive get thrown off by that in this series. And then he had another one where he actually didn't get a Second Gas, didn't get a Hydralisk Den, just went to 6 hatch quickly, and I think he was planning mutas there, but it didn't work out because of the pressure that was being put on. But we'll see, right? Like, if it's going to be the original build that he's been using, the Hydralisk Den should go up now. But I don't see that. So, yeah, let's see. I mean, It could just be 6 hatch into Hydra Den or something like that, but that feels a little bit late. We saw that he did have some problems with that as well. Corsair on the way, +1 on the way. +1 attack for Zealots as well. The Speedling's doing a good job of picking things off. Corsair coming down for that full scout. Gonna see the Spire. Hey, there's the Carapace. So see, I think that this is a basic mind game that MisO is doing. So, you know, I pointed this out in the, what game was it? The Apocalypse game? Where I'm like, okay, since there's no Hydralisk Den, I think this quick second gas is normally what Protoss look at and say, okay, this might be telling me that it's Mutas, and we saw him react like that before. With no second gas here, it looks more like it might be just a macro into Hydra. But it does look like it's going to be Muta this time. So I feel like we've kind of figured out one of the key things that MisO likes to do. And he probably doesn't do it every time. But it seems like this is an idea that he really likes, which is it kind of obscures what's going on, which can be good. And the thing is, you can do things like start the Carapace upgrade and then not make Mutas. That is a possibility. But it does look like it should be a Mutalisk-based game, which I feel like we haven't really had one yet in this series. All right, 6 hatch going to be started. So excellent, excellent production coming out of MisO. And we'll see if he throws down a Hydralisk Den or if he actually just starts to pop Mutas, because he's got almost 700 gas. So there's the Mutalisks to start. He's got a few Scourge kind of patrolling the edges of the base. Zealots come out and see those Scourge, going to back up. 4 Corsairs, 5 Corsairs, 6 on the way, +1 still coming. All right, gonna come up and pick off some Scourge to start. Really, really good. +1 is done for the Zealots, by the way, so the Ling's not gonna fare very well against these. You might have to utilize your Mutalisks to help kill those off. All right, drags the Scourge into the cannons. All right, so far, like, I wouldn't say anyone's ahead. I feel like Motive's doing the right things, but the Mutalisk build, if you do it correctly, is very, very flexible. And as you can see, he's gone up to 6 hatches really quick. Look at this, starting to make a good Sim City. You're not really all in when you go Mutas or something, even if they have Corsairs, you know? So definitely still feels like there's a lot of play on both sides. +1 is almost done. It will finish a little bit before the +1 on the Mutalisks, so that's something that he's going to want to look out for, because if it's +1 against no +1, which is what we see right there, at least it started as, you will get absolutely railed. It will be insane. All right, more gates on the way. Let's take a look at MisO's base. Hydralisk speed coming up. He is getting ready for that transition. A lot more Scourge being made. No +1 missiles yet, but that'll probably start really soon. A DT coming out with some speed Zealots. The Mutalisk count hasn't really grown, right? 5 is the amount that you need to one-shot a probe, so I think he has ideas to use them, but, you know, maybe he looks at this and says, the Corsair control's good, the cannons are good, I can't really do anything right now, that's fine. Now, that being said, he's made so many Scourge at this point, we're definitely going to see him try to take out the Corsairs, and if he does, the Mutas will be very, very powerful. But it also looks very much like we're about to have a ton of Hydralisk production. The game is kind of gearing up into a place where I feel like we could definitely get a big macro game going. You see 3 more gates coming up. We'll see if he throws up the 7th gate. I mean the 8th gate. That is the 7 on the way. +1 missiles. Lots of Hydras. Some more drones as well. His drone count is very, very healthy. 54 probes, looking very good. And yeah, he did start that additional gateway. So it's going to be the standard 8 gate on 2 base here for Motive. He sees just the ridiculous amount of Scourge. You know, when you see that there's this many Scourge and they have +1, holy crap. Pretty brave. Runs in, gets a few shots, runs back. Hey, put some damage on some, killed a few. Good quality play. Lots of Hydras being made right now. Psystorm is about to finish. All right, so both sides. Okay, he's trying to get his 3rd. Look at this. This is really interesting. Both sides are in very, very playable spots. This is so interesting to me. I feel like we don't see this. I feel like most games that look like this, you'll see a single Archon made. You'll see some pressure come out from Protoss. I'm getting some chills right now. I like this idea because they're both on 3 base. They both have kind of equal positions in a lot of ways. So if you... Oh, a storm on those Scourge would be sick. Oh, no. Oh, and he does hit the... Oh, my God. A ton of Scourge hit, though. He did utilize that storm, and you can see it did end up getting 7 kills. So he killed a lot of the Scourge there as well. Like, his Corsairs would have been destroyed almost completely if he hadn't done that storm. Okay. So I want to talk about this, where this is forcing MisO's hand. It's like, okay, attack me, or you better build your economy, man. You know? And MisO actually does build his economy. He adds a 4th base himself. He's got very solid macro here. The supply is very similar, which is generally good for Zerg. Now, that being said, a 3rd gas at this speed is really nice for Protoss. That is a very, very fast 3rd. Now, the mutas are actually attacking up. Oh my God, he actually made more mutas. Sorry, I missed that. And they attack up. Now, the cannon bought some time. The Corsair is coming up. He has Storm. Okay, he hits a Storm on the mutas, but it's not perfect. Does some damage, but not end of the world damage. The muta's going to come up and attack the Corsairs, but it looks like there's just enough here to force the mutas out. Okay, so good blocking there by Motive. Does take a slightly larger supply advantage. Not end of the world for MisO, though. You know, he made his move. It was decent. It didn't do that much. He is making some more mutas, which is interesting. I think he just wants to snipe a bit. Okay, that was actually an excellent storm. He accidentally flew his mutas into it there at the end. Oops, a little bit of a misplay there from MisO. MisO pushing Motive back. Motive with a very heavy Dragoon count. Now, look, this area is really strong for MisO because it splits this base and the rallies, right? So this is likely going to be the general area that he tries to control, where it's like if anything starts to break, if anything gets even further out of position, he might be able to kill one of the areas. Now, that's an excellent storm that comes down. MisO attacking in. Oh my God, this is so cost inefficient for MisO. I'm kind of surprised. I think because his macro is so strong right now, he says, screw it. We're just going to rally, man. We're just going to kill everything. He eats so many Psy Storms there. Eats another one here. Micro's back a little bit more during that one. He does have to pull back and regroup. Man, he lost a lot of supply there. Really good storms, really good holding here from Motive. But that did feel a little bit wasteful. The thing is, MisO's on 54 drones. He's got 7 hatcheries. Like, he probably feels like he can't lose when he does an attack like that. I think he looks at it and says, dude, my macro is just smoking right now. And it is, but Psystorm doesn't care. In fact, Psystorm prefers you have lots of units because then it gets more value. So now Motive has a crushing army. Look at this army, man. 150. He's moving down. Lots of Dragoons in here. He has some Psystorms ready. Let's see what those storms look like. Excellent storm here. Excellent Psystorm. Another very, very good one. And the Dragoon count is a little bit overwhelming. Now, that being said, I actually think that Motive might need to pull back right here. If there's a big round of Hydras that comes out, he can actually lose this army. You have to be careful with your Dragoons. If it's only Dragoons fighting, like I know he has 1 Archon for tanking damage, but it doesn't have much health left. If it's only Dragoons, they actually lose to everything, unless you have a really overwhelming amount. Okay, here we go. Some Zealots coming in. Very important. Dude, he's on the rally point. This is actually, I think that's the actual rally point. We just saw units rally into there and get picked off. So Motive is trying to keep that pressure on. Picking off some Overlords now. Not the end of the world yet. He's not hitting a supply block. MisO's sitting back a bit defensively. He's got a lot of money, actually. Got to spend that. He has another hatchery that's about to finish. So he's about to be on like 10 hatch Hydra right now. He has that +2 missile attacks as well to kind of counteract the 2 armor. Look at this attack. Okay, a storm goes down. Not the best storm. Does help out with 3 Hydras. Makes another Archon. Just trying to overwhelm with Dragoons. Look at this gateway count right now. Just rallying down consistently. And the Hydras are dying as they pop. 17 Hydras on the way. If he could get all that together, like, it kills this. But he can't do it. GG. And that means that Motive going to go to the finals. Takes down MisO 4-2. And that leaves just 2 matches left. We're going to have a 3rd place match coming up next. It's going to be MisO versus Yoon, and that's going to be a best of 5. And then, of course, the finals. Motive versus Scan in a best of 7. Going to be absolutely insane. Guys, thank you very much for watching. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you in the 3rd place match.